Meet Your First Responders is brought to you by Bank of the San Juans, one big happy little bank.
When Durango Police Sergeant Tim Dixon isn't supervising school resource officers, the traffic division, or social media, you can find him fishing or canoeing or climbing a mountain with his wife Linda. He loves the outdoors and the opportunities for outdoor recreation that abound in the Durango area. And his love of the mountains are what enticed the Dixons to move to Durango 5 years ago. After 5 years with the Ellisville, Illinois Police Department and 20 years with the Police Department of Kirkwood, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis. During his 30 years in law enforcement, Dixon has served as a beat cop, a DARE officer, and a detective liaison to the Drug Enforcement Agency. In Durango, he's in charge of community programs. And through all his positions, he says good policing involves relationship building with the residents he serves.
I think it's interaction with the people. It's giving people your time and showing an interest in what they're dealing with. Just slowing down enough to take the time to do that is so important. Really, and not just in a small community. It could be anywhere.
Dixon began his professional career in Parks and Recreation, but 11 years into his profession, he decided to follow in his father's footsteps and become a police officer.
My dad was a police officer for a long time, and there were things about the respect he had in the community and how he had the respect of the people and how he treated people that made me want to follow in his footsteps. And then also, I viewed police work as something a little bit more essential than maybe Parks and Rec.
Dixon also followed his father to Durango. His parents purchased a cabin at Vallecito, and it became the Dixon family's vacation destination for more than 20 years. 2 of his children moved to Durango after graduating from college, and the Dixons followed in 2015. The 2 will celebrate their 40th anniversary at the end of the month, and Dixon credits their long marriage to a mutual love of fishing, hiking, camping, and mountain climbing. Dixon also is a fan of rock music and has attended concerts featuring the Rolling Stones, The Who, Queen, the Ramones, David Bowie, and many others. As a Boy Scout leader, Dixon encouraged his scouts to be prepared, and now he encourages residents to be vigilant about their surroundings and their safety.
Be a participant in your own safety and well-being, and I don't want to take responsibility away from people who take advantage of other people. That's not what that's about, but you can make yourself less vulnerable to those people by being more vigilant and taking precautions and being aware of your surroundings and those types of things. So that philosophy of being a participant in your own safety, it's kind of like the conversation moms and dads have with their teenagers. And a term that I used with mine was, nothing good happens after midnight, so make sure you're home by midnight. And it's a way of protecting yourself and avoiding getting yourself into a scrape that you could have avoided.
Thanks for watching our First Responder Spotlight, brought to you by Bank of the San Juans and the local news network. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle. Be safe out there.
We're a state that gets things done in a country that gets things done. So when you're ready to, come see us. We have money. We're a bank. Bank of the San Juans, one big happy little bank.